Hey, I'm Charting Man Dan of the Chart Guys, trader and technical analyst for the last 13 years. And in this video, we're going to check in on the earnings reactions of Netflix and Tesla. We had an AI pump in Apple with a headline, but it was very short lived, very different than what we saw with Microsoft yesterday. Does that mean the AI hype train is weakening a little bit? Lots to discuss. Let's look at the charts. So checking in on the earnings reactions, we don't have conference calls yet. You can see Tesla had a good bit of volatility, and now it's forming an equilibrium, just waiting for the conference. But all in all, it's going to be a fairly uneventful earnings reaction here. We are pretty much where we were trading all day today. So no change there. Even if it's a bear reaction, as long as we're above daily EMA 12, it's no biggie. If it's a bull reaction, as long as we're under 300, nothing's changing. So non-event for Tesla as far as I'm concerned. Netflix has a bearish reaction, but again, it was just priced in yesterday. A lot of people, I'm seeing on social media saying, these earnings are pretty good. Why are we not going up? Well, we went up 6% yesterday, and we just gave that move back. The low of yesterday was 448, and here we are trading at 454. So we're 1% above the low of yesterday. We're testing daily EMA 12. We're still in an uptrend. As far as I'm concerned, on an earnings reaction, if it doesn't change the daily chart in any meaningful way, for me, it's a non-event. And so I would say that these two earnings reactions at this point are a non-event. Obviously, the Netflix, a bit more eventful at this point, but priced in yesterday is what it boils down to. And the NASDAQ, in response to this after hours, nothing going on. Non-event. So, moving on. We have much more earnings, many more earnings coming up over the next couple of weeks, but sticking to the daily stair-step pattern in the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Higher low every single day, 7 days in a row now. It's one of the longer streaks that we've seen recently on this entire move up, actually. If you go to the NASDAQ, it had a streak in here of 6 days before consolidating. So this is the longest daily stair-step streak since the fear lows. And we'll see if that breaks tomorrow. And if it does, we watch for first hourly oversold conditions, and we scout daily higher lows to be the result of that consolidation. Reminder, tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, going to be doing a live webinar and taking Q&A, talking about the trading journey and the different phases and expectations that we can have as we make our way through the years. Hope to see you there. Link is in the comments of this video. So pretty much every day I approach the day and say, if we don't break the low of the previous day, nothing changes. The bulls keep control. And we had this sell-off in response to the pump and dump on Apple. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But it was just an hourly higher low. We didn't see any hourly consolidation on the NASDAQ yesterday. Saw a little bit of follow through today, and then we got that hourly consolidation, and hourly higher low was set. So can the bears confirm the hourly downtrend to start daily consolidation is the question for tomorrow. So the Apple pump and dump, and not much of a dump. I mean, it definitely topped out. It was Apple doing the same thing as Microsoft. So we know yesterday, Microsoft put out an AI headline right under all-time highs and shot up, perfect timing because it was just the daily cup and handle, and exploded higher. Ended up with a daily inside bar today, but huge move up. And so Apple tried to do the same today, right under all-time highs. News comes out, big time spike up, lasting 10 minutes, and everybody jumping on and saying, we're going to see the same thing as Microsoft. And then a big sell-off. The reason for the sell-off is yesterday's move from Microsoft priced this in to a certain degree. Not necessarily with Apple specifically, but just the market in general. This reaction is telling us that the market is getting a little bit tired or a little bit saturated with the AI headlines. They're pretty much, Microsoft used up the big punch for that AI headline, and it was a much less meaningful punch from the Apple reaction. And you could see that Apple was selling off a little bit. This is the 1 minute time frame. You could just see that it wasn't the same kind of move. And then once we confirmed the 1 minute downtrend, that shifted things significantly. And so where do we stand from here? Well, it is an Apple all-time high. And the bears have to confirm hourly downtrends. So, no major red flags. Again, we're still just holding the low, higher low every day pattern. So is this a top? Maybe. But keep in mind, everybody was calling it a top when we had the Apple event. All-time high push up, big turnaround. just bounced right off daily EMA 12 and kept on chugging along. So bears have to prove it consistently. We need hourly downtrend. We need a loss of the daily uptrend. So definitely some profit taking, but not a significant amount at this point. And you could see that profit taking hit the AI names as well. PLTR has been a lead AI bull this week. And look at this turnaround. Usually when you see a big move up on the morning and then you give it all back to a new low of the day, you look for that to be a climax top. And it's entirely possible that PLTR is putting in a climax top just into daily consolidation. Big upper wick. It's a bearish reversal candle on the daily. There's a lot of space for an hourly lower high now. So can the bears confirm the hourly downtrend and start daily consolidation? If they do, we watch for first hourly oversold conditions, and anything above 1627 would be a daily high or low. So again, on these names that have space to work with in their daily uptrend, daily consolidation is not a red flag. But losing the uptrend or increasing bear volume, those would be red flags. So, PLTR pulls back to 17, sees an hourly oversold bounce, holds daily EMA 12, and keeps going, then obviously there's no red flags. So we have to keep observing. But we saw AI also with that turnaround. AI confirmed the 2-day equilibrium bull break, but then that news led to a big sell-off. You can see the significance of that drop. That was a very fast, in less than an hour, just about an hour, we saw a drop of 7% or so. So same thing, can the AI bears tomorrow confirm an hourly downtrend and start that daily consolidation where we will zoom out and key support will be 36.45. Because if that level breaks, then it's a potential weekly lower high being set. So all about 36.45 in the short term for AI. Also NVDA, so SMH daily inside bar, struggling up around 160. No red flag still. The first red flag on this chart would be if 155.70 support breaks. Then we would lose the daily higher lows, and that would stand out. But NVDA is at a crossroads here, where this 4-hour time frame, I generally don't use the 4-hour chart for stocks, but I like the clarity here. This is either, the pattern I've been talking about forever, not forever, the last week, the resistance rejection into the bull flag, holding EMA 12 into the breakout. Well, here it is on the 4-hour. Reject from resistance, bull flag trying to hold EMA 12. Is this a 4-hour cup and handle for new all-time highs or not? And tomorrow's going to answer that question. If we break the low of today tomorrow, if it's an inside bar bear break, then I shift my focus from instead of being a cup and handle to it then being an equilibrium. And we'll still watch for a higher low to try and form compared to 450 because there's a lot of space for it. But that would essentially negate the cup and handle for me if we break the low of today tomorrow. So I'm watching NVDA a bit closer tomorrow because, again, those are two very different paths that we're going to take here. And I don't know which one's going to happen. But I'm going to be watching for those clues tomorrow morning. Healthcare. So here's an example where I can make an excuse for the bulls. So what do I mean by that? Well, we got the weekly equilibrium that we've been watching forever. It broke bull, but it broke bull with a bearish candle, and it's a bull break with no follow through. So why would I make an excuse for the bulls here? The reason is we just went daily stair step, higher low every single day for 8 days, straight off the low of consolidation. We haven't confirmed a daily uptrend yet. So it's the analogy that I give where you just imagine a bull running up to a big wall that it has to climb over, and it uses up all of its energy just running to the wall, and then it struggles to get over the wall. So can the bulls take a breather, hold daily EMA 12 to keep consolidation healthy, and then see follow through? If that happens, then it's A-okay, just fine. If we retrace 50% of this move, then it's a red flag. So we have to see what the consolidation looks like from here to gauge whether that's a bull break with no follow through or whether it is just an extended break of resistance. Bulls need a breather for a higher low. Financial sector, still continuing strong. Key resistance, 36.76, still a ways away. That's maybe 4.5% or so. Space for a weekly higher low next consolidation. Daily uptrend remains our guide, but clearly a strong sector in the moment. I did take some profit in KRE today. So that entry from yesterday during the live stream and really nice follow through. Strong close. Why am I taking profit? We're up 10% for an entire sector in 3 days. Anytime that happens, I'm going to take a little bit off. And from here, I'm going to do the same thing as ARKK position, which is just move a stop loss up with every daily higher low that is established and just walk that stop loss up. ARKK, follow through for the bulls. Daily consolidation becoming due here, but again, I'm just going to walk my stop up because I'm down. I've taken enough profit in both of these positions now that essentially what I have left is a runner that I'm going to let play out as long as the daily uptrend remains intact. IWM, aggressive bears are watching for a top fish here, and I generally don't, in this market environment, I'll take a bearish trade every now and again. I did stop out of an Apple and a Microsoft short attempt. I think I entered that trade about a week ago, but very minimal bear attempts. So it's the kind of thing where, if you haven't made a bear attempt in the last couple of weeks, okay, you can give it a shot because it's a top fishing play where your stop loss is very close. But it's a double top. I mean, this is the monthly equilibrium resistance here of 198.74 and 197.98. So this is a very important resistance test. If it breaks, we're at 52-week highs. We're actually at 14-month highs if it breaks, and that would be a big win for the bulls. And if we fail, still plenty of space to try and maintain the daily uptrend, but a bit extended into this resistance test. So we'll see if we reject from the initial attempt. And again, the financial sector is a factor in IWM, a significant factor, and still strong there, but we'll see if we get a little extended and reject from resistance. It's the same thing. IWM, bulls perhaps a bit tired heading into a key wall of resistance. Solar sector, so broke the low of yesterday with no follow through. Again, still extra cautious here, just keeping a close eye from the bullish entry on Monday. And again, stop under the low here, sold enough to be risk-free, but not liking the potential of this megaphone setup. So we want to see these bulls set a quick daily higher low and try and see some continuation here. And just observing closely over the next couple of days. Crypto names set the daily higher low. That was a top watch for me this morning. And bulls used up all their momentum first thing. We had a big move up in 15 minutes, and then we just tightened up for the majority of the rest of the day. But daily higher low is set. So from here, do we see continuation, or do we lose the daily uptrend and into weekly consolidation? And Bitcoin just started weekly consolidation, but so far there's no follow through. So essentially, if Bitcoin were to, it's still weak. Bitcoin has not gotten the daily bounce going yet. There's a lot of space for a daily lower high to be the result of this bounce if the bulls do get it going. So cautious of, if Bitcoin breaks 29.4, there's a lack of support. If that were to happen, these names would very likely confirm daily downtrends into weekly consolidation. Still keeping an eye on coin. Coin is a potential daily bull flag. Strong close. And the reason, coin right now is a short squeeze. And generally, you look at short squeezes to be just straight up moves. But when you're on longer term time frames, I mean, this was a short squeeze from last week, absolutely. But it's just not allowing, the bulls are not letting the pressure up. They're not allowing a pullback for shorts to cover into. They're forcing shorts to keep buying up at the ask and, up near the highs. And coin, if we get over 116.30 here and back to 14-month highs, there's a lack of resistance. And so that is something to be keeping an eye on. And watching, Riot divided, or let's do coin divided by MARA. Coin divided by MARA. So we can see coin has been weaker than MARA for months. And that has changed the last 5 or 6 days. Riot divided by, or no, coin divided by riot. Same thing. So a big shift the last 5 days. Are we about to see? I mean, we saw rotation. We saw MARA leading riot. And then we saw rotation where riot became the leader. And now is it coin's turn to become the leader of the three. And that is a possibility. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. Chinese names, not an ideal day. I drew this yesterday. And so is this the daily lower high shaping up a downtrend? Have to see. We never confirmed an hourly uptrend with the overnight trading in China. We just had a gap up open and a big pop first thing, but gave a lot of it back. Have to see the bulls salvage this and confirm an hourly uptrend, because if we drop down, I've been talking about watching China to be a laggard, but if we confirm the daily downtrend from here, that's a red flag. And the reason that's a red flag is because for a name like K-Web, that's a double top at weekly resistance into a confirmed daily downtrend. That's a convincing hard rejection. FXI, is that? Yes, FXI, same deal. Inability to break weekly resistance into a confirmed daily downtrend would be a big red flag. And so I have some Chinese exposure in swing trades, and I will stop out if those supports break. And then I'll just be patient and observe from there. But it would definitely be a bit of a red flag for me. Psychedelic sector, MNMD. Just a little daily inside bar. Not much going on. Healthy consolidation, no red flags. But there's a red flag in CMPS. So CMPS set the daily higher low, but gave it back and is on the verge of confirming a daily downtrend. If we drop down and break 888, that's a daily downtrend, and that puts us right back into this weekly tightening range that we can stay within for another bunch of months. And the ideal scenario would be bulls hold the back test of these EMAs and then break bullish, but today definitely a red flag. So we would have to hold 888 and recover back towards 996 to salvage this, but a red flag. The dollar, daily bounce underway. Good sign for the gold bulls to be trading sideways while the dollar sees a clear daily bounce. Gold just sideways on the 4-hour. And again, remember, if you've been watching these videos for the last month, when gold was dropping over the last 2 months, I was constantly saying that the dollar would be dropping and gold would not be going up. And then the dollar would go up and gold would drop hard. And so there was an inverse correlation, but the dollar weakness was not benefiting gold at all. And now the opposite is happening, which is what the bulls want to see. When the dollar is down, the metals are up. And when the dollar is up, the metals go sideways. That's an ideal scenario. So healthy consolidation at this point for gold. We'll see if we can keep this 4-hour EMA 12 support going. Silver, also grinding EMA 12 on the 4-hour, up at the high here. So again, the fact that both gold and silver were green, was gold green? No, but flat. Silver green, gold flat, while the dollar was clearly up. So, ideal scenario for the metals would be for the dollar to fail to get over daily EMA 12 resistance and drop to lower lows now that we've cooled off daily RSI from oversold conditions. Oil, daily bull flag attempt, but rejected from resistance. If we drop down and break 73.84, we will be shaping up weekly consolidation. So for now, it's a tightening range, 12-hour equilibrium, potentially. And natural gas still watching the falling wedge, grinding that resistance on the 12-hour. If the bulls get over it, we'll zoom out and watch daily resistance. And at that point, we'll see if inverse head and shoulders is shaping up. But still grinding that downtrend resistance. Hope you had a good day. No end of the day videos for a while. The YouTube algos, we got to play around with them because a lot of people, I know a lot of you like it, like the end of the day videos, but a ton of people drop off and that hurts our Google Analytics or YouTube Analytics when that happens. So just have to play around and see how big of an impact it has. And we'll certainly post garden stuff on Twitter and other places, but just testing it out for a week or two. Thanks again. Do good things.